Hello Internet Allies, how you doing? So I've had this video idea for about a year, to be honest, since last International Women's Day. And since, you know, International Women's Day has come around again, I thought I'd make a YouTube video talking about my favourite Disney women, because there are quite a lot of amazing female Disney characters, I believe. And there's lots of inspiring and empowering female characters in Disney movies, I believe. So yeah, here we go. So first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tinkerbell because I'm wearing my Peter Pan hat. So what I really love about Tinkerbell, not only is she my sister's favourite Disney character, but she also has like unconditional love and support for Peter Pan. She never gives up on Peter Pan, even though Peter Pan does banish her like in his movie, because, you know, she tries to get rid of Wendy basically and whatnot, because Tinkerbell loves Peter Pan probably a little bit too much sometimes, and basically doesn't like, you know, any other women getting like close to Peter Pan. I also love that, like, if you don't give Tinkerbell attention, she dies, which I think is something that I think a lot of us can really relate to be honest. You know, she's always up for adventure and she always, you know, supports Peter Pan through whatever she does. Next up, I'm going to talk a little about Rapunzel. So I've spoken about Rapunzel quite a lot on this channel, and she is my favourite Disney princess, purely for the fact that I find her the most relatable and I relate to Rapunzel most as a Disney princess. I think the reason for this is because she's very creative, she has a lot of hobbies, you know, she doesn't really get bored either, but she's also a little bit like naive about the world, but also quite curious and kind of wants to learn a lot more about the world and to see a lot more of the world. And that's something, you know, ever since I first saw Tangled, I really identified with. And even though she is quite like naive and whatnot, like, you know, she is able to like hold her own, like, you know, in sort of situations she's not normally used to or normally comfortable in. And, you know, I think there were times like that when I was in New York where, like, you know, there were situations where I was uncomfortable with, but like I did cope really, really well, so that's why I feel like I relate to Rapunzel. Next up on my list is Dory. Now Dory, she is kind of probably one of the best like Pixar characters just in general, really, to be honest. I think what I love about Dory is that even though, you know, she does have her short-term memory loss, she does have like a positive attitude and whatnot towards life, and she is very much an optimist. You know, like her phrase is just keep swimming and everything. So even though she can't really remember much, you know, it doesn't stop her from being positive and trying new things, and is always up for adventure, is always up for like helping Marlin out. And, you know, she's a great contrast to Marlin, whereas Marlin kind of overthinks everything and worries about everything and is kind of scared of everything. You know, Dory is quite fearless, if you like. And, you know, she sort of is able to help Marlin overcome his fears of, you know, basically everything, to basically try and find his son again, Nemo. Next up is basically one of the most underrated Disney characters, and she is definitely one of my favourite ever Disney characters, and that is Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, what a woman Esmeralda is. What I love about Esmeralda is that she's not afraid to like stand up for people in need, and she's not afraid to like stand up for things she believes in, and she's got a very strong sense of justice. She's also a very kind soul as well. You know, she's very kind to Quasimodo when like nobody else shows him any kindness. She knows a lot better than to judge people based solely on how they look, and because of that, she's able to get to know him and befriend him, you know, without any judgment whatsoever. And, you know, they become best friends because of that. And I also really love her song, God Help the Outcast. It's like one of my favourite Disney songs. It's one of the most underrated songs. Why is Esmeralda so underrated? I mean, I don't know if it's inappropriate to say this, but like I can kind of see why like all the men in the movie fancied her. Another one of my favourite Disney women is Edna Mode. Purely just based on the reason that she is completely fabulous and basically steals any scene that she's in. Her iconic line, no capes, you know, it rings very true, and she does have a very good point there. No capes! You know, because yeah, they are very dangerous when you think about it. Well done Pixar as well for creating such an iconic and funny and brilliant character. You know, scene stealer, fabulous. I love her. Another fabulous character is Sharpay from High School Musical. Fabulous, da, 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 da. All things fabulous, bigger and better than most. High School Musical, I'm not gonna lie, it's not really my favourite Disney thing ever, to be honest. But I do love Sharpay because she's very fabulous, very like out there, very like camp, very flamboyant, if you like. She has actual goals for her future and stuff like that, and you know, she does her best to basically try and get what she wants. Sometimes it doesn't always work out for Sharpay, but that doesn't mean that she really gives up, and you know, she always sort of picks herself up after that as well, which is great. I think when High School Musical first aired, I think Disney were kind of expecting everyone to hate Sharpay, but like now, like a few years have passed since High School Musical was a thing, you know, I think like Sharpay is like everyone's favourite High School Musical character. Yeah, she's ambitious and she doesn't give up. Another character I really love is Megara from Hercules, because she is really something. So what I love about Meg is that she's just very like sassy and doesn't really take any nonsense from anybody, even though sometimes she does land herself into trouble. But she's also got a very big heart as well. You know, she's got a very loving heart and she's willing to basically sacrifice her life for the people she loves. You know what they say, people do crazy things when they're in love. Another character I really love is Mary Poppins, because she's practically perfect in every way. She's one of my mum's favourite Disney characters as well, so she does mean a lot to me. Like, she was actually one of my favourite Disney meet and greets as well. She's a lot of fun. And she's also a lot of fun like in the movie, in the musical, even in Mary Poppins Returns as well. You know, she is able to like entertain the children. I mean, she's quite a firm but fair character as well. So, you know, she's very like in touch with like the children, even though, you know, she might present herself as quite stern sometimes. Children might think that, oh, she's really like old fashioned and whatnot, and, you know, she's going to make this like really boring and she's going to be like kind of a bit of a slave driver. But she actually does know how to have fun. What I love about Mary Poppins is that she's easily able to like change the perception of like how the children see her. I also like how Mary Poppins can change the children's perception of like doing household chores as well, such as like tidying the room, having a bath, etc. She's not really one to take any nonsense from like, you know, the adults in the movies as well. So yeah, I really like Mary Poppins for that. Okay, this might be a bit of a strange entry, but I kind of want to talk about her anyway. I kind of want to make this list as diverse as I can. One of my favourite Disney villains is Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, because just basically because she's just so entertaining and whatnot. Yeah, Yzma is very bitter and very cynical, but when you see the way that Kuzco treats her, like, you can kind of see why, to be honest. I think what makes Yzma such an entertaining villain is basically how over the top she is with her like reactions and with her like plan to get rid of Kuzco and whatnot. She's like, I'll turn him into a flea, a harmless little flea, and I'll put that flea in a box, and I'll put that box inside another box, and I'll make that box myself, and when it arrives, ha 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 ha, I'll smash it with a hammer. It's brilliant, 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 I tell you. Finish, I say. Just like Yzma. Yes, she is a great villain. I love her so much. I think one of the most empowering Disney women, and I think it's important to add her to this list, is Mulan. And I think the reason for this is because, you know, she's trying to find her place in the world, but she's also willing to like sacrifice herself and her freedom for her father, even though, you know, her society forbids it and whatnot. She just wants to make her family proud, and she also kind of wants to find a place in the world. And, you know, what she did was amazing. Like the Emperor says, you don't meet a girl like that every dynasty. Yeah, and, you know, she ends up like saving China because of what she did, because of her sacrifices and because of the choices she made. She's very honourable, very noble. And, you know, she just shows that she is just a very capable, independent woman, and it's amazing to see. Anyway, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know who your favourite Disney women are in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and until next time, keep smiling. Bye-bye.